Welcome to another wonderful session on hair health, which we've been running since last week. Today, the topic is going to be on the connection between gut and the hair health, okay? So first of all, before we start off, I highly request you to please turn on your videos, okay? So the reason we are requesting this that we can really make this an engaging session. It's a very interesting topic, especially to women, I know. And those who turn on your videos will remain on my top right here, panelists. And those who choose not to turn on your videos, you will have to go into the attendees list, which means that you will not be able to interact directly with Dr. Sanjay or even ask the questions if you do have any, okay? So the priority will be given to those who are willing to be at risk and really show their beautiful faces. It doesn't matter how you're looking right now. It's an evening session. We all understand. You could be in your pajamas. You could be in bed, you know. Relax. We're not here to judge you. We are really here to engage with you and empower you with, you know, good knowledge which you've not heard before, and which is going to be very, very interesting, and it's going to really speak up your curiosity to actually dive deep into the subject, okay? So please turn on your videos. It really gives the speaker a lot of energy from all of us as well, a chance to really interact with one another and really have an engaging and interactive session. We're going to be making it fun. We're going to be asking you all questions, and people who are able to actually answer questions will be also winning some very interesting health products from Naveda Wellness, sponsored by Naveda Wellness. So specifically those who are engaged with us, have turned on their videos, we will give them first priority initially, okay? So I just give you 2 minutes to decide whether you would like to turn on your videos. And if you choose not to turn on your videos, I will just put you down into the attendees list so that we have, you know, Dr. Sanjay can actually see the people who are actually interacting, and those who just choose to listen, we'll put you down into the attendees list so that you can still listen, enjoy the session, but you will not have the opportunity to engage with him directly or to even participate in our questionnaires and lucky draw that we're going to be having for this evening. Okay? So I'm just giving you 2 minutes to choose whether you choose to turn on your videos or turn off your videos. Okay, wonderful. It's so nice to see many more faces. You have still one more minute to decide whether you want to show us your face, your beautiful faces, or you choose just to be at the background, and it's okay. It's your choice. We would really like to engage with y'all, and we want to see your faces. We want to see your reactions so that we can answer any of your questions that you may have. Okay, I'm just going to call out some names. And then I will change you into the attendees list if you choose not to show your face. So we have Mira Gary. Would you like to choose to stay on or off? Okay, so you seem to be not wanting to change. Okay, so I'll change your role to attendee. Preeti Iyer. No video, okay. Okay, yeah, you want to change? Okay, very good. Preeti Iyer, do you want your video on or off? Okay, change to attendee. We have Jan M. Would you like to show your beautiful face? No, okay. Deborah Das, would you like to show us your beautiful face? No? Okay. Monica Kritilani, would you like to turn on your video? No. Susan Lee, would you like to turn on your video? No. Anisha, would you like to turn on your video? No. Hina, would you like to turn on your video? No. M. Husnili, would you like to turn on your video? No. Pooja, can we see your beautiful face? No.
I'm in my PJs, sorry.
Okay, so I'll just put you down as the attendee.
Thank you.
Lillian, would you like to turn on your video? No. Jan M, would you like to turn on your video? No. Okay, Nisha Kupchandani. Video, no video, no video. Okay. And Preeti. No, okay, choose to be an attendee. Great. Apalna Kira, you would like to change and show us your beautiful face? No. Okay, so we have all the faces who would love to show us their beautiful faces right here on the screen. Thank you so much. Those who changed their mind and would like to turn on your videos, please put the message into the chat so that I know that you would like to come on the screen and engage with Dr. Sanjay, be part of the engaging activities, and the rest can listen. All right? Okay, so we have 12 people right here showing us their beautiful faces, and we have 16 people wanting to listen, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So welcome today again to this beautiful session that we're having. Okay, we have Sam who just entered. Sam, please turn on your video if you would like to engage with Dr. Sanjay, or if you would like to be part of the activities. Otherwise, we will switch you to an attendee list. Okay, so I'm going to start. So good evening, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining in. It's 9 p.m. I hope you've had a wonderful dinner, and I hope you've had a healthy dinner. And of course, depends on the perspective of healthy. What is healthy exactly? You know, that Dr. Sanjay will tell us more about. Just to let you know, welcome to Naveda Integral Wellness Center. Today, we're going to be having a topic on the connection between gut and the hair health. So yesterday, we had a really engaging and wonderful session, and that is why we chose to continue on today. So we've been having this series on hair since last week. We've talked about how stress impacts your hair, how your sleep impacts your hair. And yesterday we were talking about the role of nutrition and how it impacts hair health. And today we're going to be talking about the gut and how it impacts your hair, not only your hair, but even your health. So I'm Veena Dansinghani, the founder director of Naveda Integral Wellness Center. We are located in Hong Kong. If you're not in Hong Kong, you could be from anywhere around the world. Welcome. We are located in Chim Sa Choy, right opposite the Peninsula Hotel and the YMCA. We are an award-winning integral wellness center offering solutions for your hair and health care concerns. We are also taking solutions from both nature and science, and we have helped and supported thousands of people, myself, since 5 years, locally and globally. But Dr. Sanjay has been, helping people all around the world since the last 30 years. He is on a mission to really make a big difference and a big impact in this world. Those of you who do not know Dr. Sanjay, he is a renowned microbiologist, PhD from the University of Hong Kong. And there's a lot I can share about him, but I do not want to take away his time. He is doing a lot of great service to really come out into the community. He is a well-known, renowned scientist. Scientists are not usually seen in the community. They really have the background, doing a lot of research, a lot of work, so that we, normal people could actually live, experience wonderful things in our world. So he's actually come down, taken this time to come into the community, interact with the community, and really empower, inspire everyone to become conscious consumers, not only product wise, but even the way we're living in our lives. All right. So a very interactive session again is going to happen today. We're going to be talking about gut and hair health. We're going to be having some engaging activities in between where you will also be able to win certain Naveda Wellness therapeutic products. And hopefully we'll have certain other surprises as well in between. All right, so I turn the video back on to Dr. Sanjay. Thank you so much. I'm spotlighting you. Here you go.
Thanks, Veena. So here we go again. Yesterday we had a wonderful session on nutritional value, a different kind of nutrition on hair health. And today we are focusing especially gut health, or nutrition required in a gut health and its relation to the hair. So every week we are doing different topics, and the purpose of this seminar series is to educate you, empower you, and more you learn, you can make a better decision about your health. It's all about the preventive healthcare. Preventive healthcare is everything all about when you are healthy, you are paying attention to your day-to-day mindful living, lifestyle, eating, everything. So today the topic is gut. Now, as Veena mentioned, we are having these sessions a bit interactive. So before we start, I want to ask a very simple question. How many of you, just raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I will understand how many of you exactly know the definition of gut. We heard it's a very common word, but there is a lot of misunderstanding about exact definition of gut. So can you raise your hand so at least I understand what you understand the meaning of gut? Because everything is all about knowing the gut. If you know the gut, then we can start. So can you raise your hand if you know the gut? Okay, if you don't know the gut, raise the hand. Because it's very important to understand, like, whether you understand the definition of gut or not. You must be searching the definition on internet right now. What is the?
I know the definition.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, can you please? Yeah, tell.
The gastroenteritis tract from the mouth to the anus.
Okay, so that's interesting. But like for the layman language, can you give like something more simple for a common person?
It's your tract of food digestion, all the way from when you put it in your mouth till when you excrete it. So that's what's called the digestive gut.
Okay, all right. So this is very interesting. So thank you very much. That's what I wanted to hear, that most of the people relate gut to the stomach and intestine only. So it's not stomach and intestine. Is as soon as you put the food in your mouth, start from your esophagus all the way to you pass out. Okay, so that's the, in other word, in the simple word, let's say your digestive system. Okay, so your digestive system. So as soon as you put the food inside your mouth, okay, all the way digestion take place, useful nutrient absorb into the blood, go to the tissue and the cell, and unwanted stuff like excreted out of the body in terms of the feces and the urine. Okay, so that's what it is. Now there are important parts. So let's check, as we did yesterday, the vocabulary, like whether you heard this name or not. Is just for my reference, so then I can design my talk today. So because we are talking about like health, and the basic concept of the health is the nutrition. The health start with the healthy eating, all right? So you all agree with that. So question again, the second question is, if I ask you this, what is the definition of healthy eating in your term? Can you have some simple explanation? What is the meaning of healthy eating? Suppose you eat healthy. Please help me to interact with me. You can unmute your mic and give me some clue of your understanding of eating healthy.
Healthy eating, I would say, is more like a balanced diet and also something that you enjoy eating.
Okay. So that's one of the answers.
Yeah. Well. I mean, something that would make you feel good also when you're eating that.
So you feel good. Like more precise answer. Anyone else?
I'd say that healthy eating is something that nourishes your mind and body, and it contributes to your well-being.
What is the definition of well-being?
Well-being is something that will contribute to your day-to-day living, and it helps you contribute more productively in your day-to-day life and into the community at large.
Okay, all right. So see, like there are certain things coming up, like there's a word you use, day-to-day life, right? Day-to-day life means we are talking like we are healthy, we are feeling good every day on a daily basis, right? So there is a responsibility of you having a good nutrition or good food on a daily basis, right? This is the first thing. So I'm trying to simplify everything so you can understand. Yesterday, how many of in this room attended my seminar yesterday? Can you raise your hand so I can see that? So because I'm going to repeat some stuff from yesterday for the new audience today. So okay. So as I mentioned yesterday, that the nutrition science, for us, we are scientists. Nutrition science is an old science. You can say the science of the 19th century or 20th century. In 21st century, we are into biochemistry. What is the difference between the nutritional science and the biochemistry? In the nutritional science, we have the food categories. Okay, we talk about the carbohydrate, fat, minerals, vitamins. So these are the categories. And Sneh, as you mentioned, that balanced diet. So that is a definition of the balanced diet. Like people say, okay, how much like you have to take, like, okay, so it's like a daughter, mom is using daughter's account or something like that. Because okay, got it. So balanced diet is all about putting the different categories. Okay, so like we are having like this much portion of the carbohydrate, this much portion of the fat, this is the minerals, this is the vitamins, like that. This is a nutrition. In biochemistry, we don't talk about nutrition. Yesterday I mentioned there are more than 200 nutrients we need for our body. And many of these nutrients are not classified in a conventional category such as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, right? So this is the most important thing everyone has to understand over here. There's so many nutrients which we need for our body on a daily basis are not categorized as carbohydrate, as fat, as protein, as minerals and vitamins. Yet we need them every day. So what do we call them, right? So this is the missing gap, what people need to understand. So yesterday, what I tried to say that, okay, for a moment, Don't think about the carbohydrate, protein, fat, and all those kind of things. Just think about, in order to run our body, we need 200 nutrients per day, every day. And one of the very important message I conveyed yesterday, that if you are having a balanced diet, you are getting only 25% of the nutrient from the full range of the 200 nutrients what we required. So therefore, there's a gap of understanding between the new science and the old science. And because we are missing so many nutrients in our body on a daily basis, that resulting in aging process. Okay, so we are aging internally and externally. This is the very important thing we have to understand. We are aging internally and externally. Externally means our look, the way we think, and all that. Internally, our efficiency of the organ. But then again, within one body, inside one body, we have a multiple aging going on. This is another thing I have stated yesterday. That if your liver is working, yesterday I talked about master nutrient concept. What is a master nutrient concept? I want to repeat it for like some of our audience, maybe like some of the previous audience can help me over here. As per the nutritional theory, we call it balanced diet. As per the balanced diet, there is like, you have to have like a balance between carbohydrate, fat, protein, minerals, and vitamins. But as per the biochemistry, the new science, we call it the theory of the master nutrient, that every organ of the body requires certain kind of nutrition. If you don't get that nutrition in your diet every day, that particular organ will start aging faster. Okay, so for example, you are taking a lot of good fiber every day, right? If you have a good fiber, maybe your digestive system is working very well. But then I go one little bit further down, not a digestive system. Your excretory system working very well, means your feces is coming out very well. So this is like the things you have to do. The fiber is to take the waste material smoothly out of the body. Fiber is not about improving the digestion and having a good digestion, right? So that's how, when we talk in the casual way, a lot of people are eating a lot of fibers. But fiber is not adding up to your digestion. Fiber is helping you to take your waste material out of the body more smoothly, so it make your colon, the large intestine, is much better, like that, right? So if you take a fiber, your intestine is better. But if you are not taking certain things which help your brain is aging faster. So within the one body, you have a much younger digestive system. Then you have a different age of liver system, different age of pancreatic system, different age of brain system. So within one, this is very interesting. That's what you have to understand, giving the key message. So outside, maybe, say, I take example that average age, say okay, a person with 50 years of age. So 50 years of age by birth. Okay, so that we are counting. But then we say, you heard about what is the biological age. So many people say, okay, biological age, maybe you are 60 years old or you are 70 years old, because your body is working slow and it's not working as a 50 years of person. But then I'm adding one more layer to it. What I'm adding one more layer to it, that maybe you are 50 years old, but your brain may be only 30 years old. Your liver is 70 years old. Your pancreas is 35 years old. Your kidney is 65 years old. You see, that is the thing you have to understand. That inside one body, everything is not working properly. It's not same. So the concept of the healthy body means when each and every organ of your body are working in a balancing. See, you use the word balanced diet. So that's what we have to understand. Why we use a balanced diet? Because to keep the balance among all the organs. So you need to become your own X-ray machine or your own MRI. And you need to look inside your body. And you need to pay attention to your organ. Okay. So I will go inside one by one, and you can understand slowly what I mean by that. So I try to establish this concept right now that we need so many nutrients, and many of the nutrients do not fall in the category of any explained category of nutrients such as protein, carbohydrate, fat, etc. Okay. So where we put them? Say, for example, if I'm using, this is a very difficult word, but like if you have heard about, you please raise your hand. Have you heard about phytosterol?
Sorry?
Phytosterol.
No.
Do you eat phytosterol every day? Do you eat phenolic acid every day? Okay. Do you eat lignin every day? Do you eat saponin every day? Right? That's what we are missing. That's a new science. So what happened? That's how somewhere we get stuck to a conventional thing. Carbohydrate is a common term. Protein is a common term. So we all talk about carbohydrate, protein, oil, fat, and this. Let's come to fat and tech. Like, have you heard about mustaric acid? See, we heard about saturated fat, right?
Yeah.
We heard about unsaturated fat. Yeah. How many of you heard about trans fat?
We've heard about it, but we don't know it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Trans fat. So quickly, like when you burn the fat and you give the heat, it converts into trans fat. And that is why, especially with the Indian community, we always say like never use the oil you already used one. Because the once you use the oil and you give the heat, the normal oil convert into trans fat. And next day, if you are using the same oil, actually you are not using oil, you are using a trans fat. And trans fat is now known, it's a very bad, the main culprit of heart disease is a trans fat, not a cholesterol. Okay, so you can have enough cholesterol, but if you have a trans fat, that's the problem. So that's just for an example. Now, just testing some of the things, and you can test yourself. So playing with the word. Palmitic acid. Have you heard about palmitic acid? Okay. Have you heard about linolenic acid? Linolenic acid.
We've heard the names.
Okay, you heard the name linolenic acid. You heard about GLA, gamma linolenic acid, alpha linolenic acid. Yeah. But very interestingly, now I'm going to use the other word and you will say answer is yes. You heard about flaxseed, right? But you don't know what is the linolenic acid. So that's where, keep this in mind. That's where I'm going to relate it later. Okay. So what happened? We know a lot about food, but we don't know about the nutrient. Okay. So the whole idea is my motivation to you or my inspiration to you, please learn about the nutrient, not about the food. When you know about the nutrient, you can automatically select a lot of food. But because you choose the food, you miss out many nutrients. Okay, so it has to be other way around. So few other things, right? Stearic acid, right? Never heard about it. But now you heard about omega-3, yes? You heard about omega-9.
Yes.
Yeah. And you heard about omega-6, right? You heard about vitamin B1.
Yes.
B2, B3, B4, right?
Right.
So same like in oil, we have omega-3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. like that. But we only talk about 369 because everyone is talking about 369. We don't want to talk about omega 11. We don't want to talk about omega 12. And these are the things which is like stearic acid, oleic acid, palmitic acid, and all those kind of things. So unfortunately, what happened, most of these things are restricted within the university, in the textbook, within the scientists, and never came out into the like a common public domain in a storytelling manner. So this is the thing, basically, I try to work it out over here. I try to tell you the science in a more storytelling manner. So today, you learn this new things, very interesting, that you know about oil, right? But oil is good or bad. You heard about good oil and bad oil. But then you have a limited vocabulary in terms of the saturated oil or unsaturated oil, right? And then you have the further limited vocabulary like cholesterol. Okay, the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. And then now the new vocabulary is trans fat. That's it. But then you heard, like when you have like a blood test for the heart, you heard about triglyceride, right? You heard, how many of you heard triglyceride, right? That's there. But then there's so many things like what I'm saying right now, like oleic acid, palmitic acid, stearic acid, stearic acid. People never heard about it. Okay, so like that, the oil has a very big range, which is like 3 omega s, like, so number omega is the number. That's how we define oils. Okay, so it's a omega 3, omega 6. So these are certain structures. So every oil has an important role to play in our body. But then people were not talking about this important oil, and people were talking only about cholesterol. Why people started talking about cholesterol? Because it was thought before that the heart disease is caused by cholesterol. But now, as per the new science, we have learned the heart disease is not caused by the cholesterol, it's caused by the trans fat. Because if you have a trans fat in the body, that initiate the clogging, which is like the clog you say. So as per the new science, cholesterol is not, it's required in the body. So basically, like all your important hormones in the body required cholesterol to operate. Always remember that. So any of you who feel tired, sluggish, lazy, they are lacking cholesterol in their body. Just remember it, very straightforward. Many people started reducing, cutting cholesterol because they think this is bad. So we have to understand oil. The word we have to understand oil, and within the oil, we need so many things which help our body to operate properly. But within the oil, what we don't need? We don't need trans fat. And what is the trans fat? Trans fat actually convert from the cholesterol when you heat the oil. Okay, so heating the oil is very bad. And that is why, because of the wrong cooking procedure in America or in the European countries, like let's take this very good example, French fries or deep fried stuff. So deep fried stuffs are a very bad stuff because it create a lot of trans fat. And that's where this notion has came up that don't use oil. Okay. And that is why we need to understand, yes, if we use too much oil and we heat the oil, it's not good. Why? Because it converts cholesterol to the trans fat. So this is the magic. When it is a cholesterol, then it is a good for body. But when the cholesterol convert into triglyceride or trans fat or other stuff, it's really bad for the body. So same thing is good, but if change, it is bad. So I can give you the very good example. If you have a heart problem and you go for the blood test, so the doctor do, it's called lipid test. It's called the lipid test. And they do the different kind of lipid test. In this lipid test, you have a triglyceride test. If the triglyceride level is high, you have a high chance of heart problem. So it's always see like whether your triglyceride level is low. Okay. So this is the first part. So take oil as a key word. We are saying two things. We should not heat the oil. We should not heat up the oil. And we should not reuse the oil. Okay. It's very bad. So there are certain things which is related to oil. But then I'm talking so many words: palmitic acid, stearic acid, oleic acid, like which is omega 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, all those kind of, this is very important for the body. Because if we don't have this, our body cannot function. Okay. So if you feel tired, if you feel sluggish, it means like body do not have all this essential oil, and these are called essential oils. Okay. What is the definition of essential oil? The oil which we have to depend from out of the body. Our body cannot make it. So this is the dilemma. Like most of the nutrition our body can prepare itself. But the moment we say essential, we have a two category of essential food: essential amino acids, which makes protein, and essential oil, different types of oil. What does that mean? If we don't take it as a food source, our body cannot make it. And if our body cannot make it, we are depleted of these kind of very important body, which play in a very important nutritional requirement or the body health. Now coming to the next point. Just want to make sure you know about it and you understand it. You heard about the minerals and vitamins, right? Minerals and vitamins, everyone's know minerals and vitamins. But do you know that some of the minerals or vitamins are water soluble and some of them are oil soluble? Have you heard about this? Because see, if you have a minerals and vitamin, it has to go somewhere, dissolve, right? It cannot go in the solid format to your blood. It has to go into liquid format to your blood, right? So you need a mediator. So some of the nutrient, so this is see, most of the people do this mistake and they don't understand this. They think I'm taking minerals and vitamins. But if your vitamins are not oil soluble, and if you don't take an oil, that vitamins is useless for you because it will flush out. It will not absorb in your body. And the only vitamins which are water soluble, if you're taking water, because body has a water, it will take water in the body. So let me disclose you something very, very important of the culinary art. Oil was not made to create a taste. Oil, the usage of oil was very scientific. Because when you use oil in your food, when you use a water in your food, then only all the vitamin and minerals can absorb in your body, because some of the nutrients dissolve in oil and some of them dissolve in water. And that's where the curry has born. Curry is the most scientific stuff. Curry is the only food in this whole planet which has like the oil and water in an equal proportion. Right? So this is the one of the very important thing you have to remember, because today we are talking about gut health. So another point that we think, that is why in the very first I asked what is the definition of healthy eating. So now I enter into the point that inside in our body, we need a medium, we need oil and water both to absorb this nutrient, because half of the nutrient absorb in water, half of the nutrient absorb in oil. Okay, so you remember this, because if you don't have a water, you are dehydrated, then doesn't matter how well you eat, it will not go inside your proper digestion. Now you see like how people play the logic, and with the logic they destroy the science. Coming to the next point, and which you will agree with this. Many people say, don't drink water after eating food immediately. Wait for half an hour, right? Why it was used? It used as a logic. What is the logic is, if we drink the water, our digestive juices or enzymes will get diluted, so digestion will not take place properly. But where they miss out the science, if you don't have a water, the food is not going to absorb. Food is going wasted. Okay, because there is no solution is available, right? So that's where logic destroy the science. Logic is created by the common man. Logic is created by the motivational speaker. Logic is created by the magazine writer, article writer. It sounds very interesting, because it gives you the satisfaction, wow, it's like nice thing, but it's not science. Yeah, in science, we all will agree, we all learn the science, and we say 2 plus 2, we all get a one answer, and that the answer is 4, right? No one will say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4.5 or 3.9 or 3.2 or 2.2, right? Everyone will say 4. So science means it's an absolutely accurate information. Science is mathematics. Inside our body, there is a mathematics going on. So if we are taking this nutrient, is going into half of the nutrient. So the point here is half nutrient is going in oil and half is going in water. And therefore the curry was considered as one of the important and very smartly done recipe, because it contains both. Okay. But again, you see the smartness. In this part of the world, the Chinese or Oriental recipe, in a lot of non-veg items like chicken and other things, they eat the skin together. They never remove the skin here. The scientific purpose of not removing the skin is to get that fat. So the nutrient can absorb and dissolve into that fat and then can absorb in the body. So today's talk is, when we're talking about the gut health, we don't have to see what we are eating. You just focus inside in you, whatever you ate, like eating, whether it is absorbing and going into your blood or not. That's the key question, right? So in a layman language, we say your digestion is good. But it's a very subjective definition that, okay, digestion is good, digestion is bad. Let's make it more accurate. So let's say, okay, you need certain kind of protein. And by weight, you have taken 20 grams of protein, for example. But after the digestion of that 20 gram, how many gram or how many milligram of the protein has gone into your blood? That's your food. Your food is not what you are seeing on your plate. Okay, this is the concept you have to understand. So gut health is what? Gut health is all about what your gut is absorbing and giving to your body, finally is the gut health. What is on your plate is not. Maybe your plate is looking very fancy, very good, but if it is not absorbing in your blood or absorbing very low, then it's not a gut health. Your gut is not healthy. Okay, so far this much is clear with the people. I just wanted to make sure, because we want to interact here. Veena, like if you can ask if people have any question related to this much part, is it okay?
So if anyone wants to ask a question, you can unmute yourselves.
Doctor,
Yes,
you
please.
mentioned that not to heat the oil or reuse. Reuse, I do understand. In our Indian cooking, normally we do tadka. So the oil is, we use fresh oil to heat it, and then whatever we do tadka. Is that all right?
See, what is happening here, when you see these days, as cooking technologies are changing a lot. So when we go into very old time period, we used to burn the timber in order to, or coal, in order to get the flame, right? And then later we have the gas, and now we have the induction. Okay, so we have to understand this kind of thing. So let's go back into the gas or initial, the use the flame. So you know about the flame. In flame, we always say there is a blue flame and there is a yellow flame. Okay, so this is the thing you have to understand. It's not about the temperature, it's about the flame. Okay, so what happens usually, we don't clean up our stove very often, and it deposit a lot of bad stuff around it, which create a lot of unwanted flame, which create a extraordinary heat. Okay, so that is why when we say, like, if you do in the blue flame, okay, not in the yellow, the blue flame, everything is safe. The moment you start using yellow flame, everything is started getting spoiled. So this is the thing. So don't go with the temperature. Go with the blue and yellow. Try to avoid the yellow one. Okay. Now come to the induction plate. Induction plate, you have a temperature very well maintained over there, and then you can control the temperature. Never go like with the normal, when you are using oil. Okay, so I'm giving oil because just see, like, there's an oven, you have to go 220 250 degree for baking and all those kind of things. But when you are using oil, don't go above 120 degrees Celsius. Okay, because when you go 120 140, then that's where it converts into trans fat. Hope this answer your thing. You can experiment, you can see at your home, and you can see that.
Yeah. But some, like, which oil is this? Which one was that? The oil that I've started using is rice pan oil. The rice pan oil, it's like, normally when you heat it, it's like it requires a high temperature, or it gets heated very fast. So I use that oil most of the time in cooking. But whereas the other oils that I used earlier, that is like, it takes a while for it to get heated. But rice pan oil, it gets heated very fast.
Okay, so what you are saying here, this is physics, means conductivity of the oil. Okay, so conductivity of the oil. So because the oil density and the viscosity are different, okay, so some oil get heated very fast, some oils get heated very slow. Here we are talking about, like, more about a trans fat. So you need to just make sure that you don't heat your oil in such a way, or don't use your oil in such a way that it convert into trans fat, because it's not good. And just to give you your information, in USA, that these days the trans fat is completely banned. And even in Hong Kong, even in Hong Kong, we have a new nutritional labeling law. As per the nutritional labeling law, which is, we call it 7+1 law. Okay. How many of you go to the supermarket and buy the product and read the nutritional label? Do you read it? Okay.
Not all.
So from next time, you try to read it and try to read the trans fat. Two things you definitely read on the label. One is the trans fat, and second is sugar. Okay. So we are having so many seminars, and we'll explain to you the reason of like why I'm saying like you should look these two numbers over there. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Another
definitely look. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sorry. Another question is that sometimes I do oil-free cooking. So now knowing that oil is also important for the body. So in that case, is it okay to just put the oil in the food?
See, this is very interesting thing. No, this is very interesting. So you will get the answer. Every vegetables, okay, has a oil inside it. From where you get the oil?
Yeah, right.
Oil is not a produced by itself, right? We have a sunflower oil. We take from the sunflower seed. We take a mustard oil. We take a mustard seed. We take a olive oil from the olive. So the idea is oil is there. Everywhere is there.
Right.
In every fruit has oil, right? So if we use the food in a nice way, or we are receiving the oil in the body. Okay. We are receiving the oil in the body. This is like somehow this oil concept is like modified because of the culinary art. Okay, you have to make your food more tasty and all those kind of things. So you see, like oil, salt, sugar. These are the three culprits of the culinary art, just to create the food more tasty, right? So it's a choose. I would say how you create a balance between the tasty food and the healthy food. If you know the art of creating the balance between the taste and health, I think that is the best choice. So most of the people don't know how to create a healthy food tasty. So I always say, like, people talk about health, but they buy taste. We surrender in front of taste. Okay, we talk a lot. It doesn't matter how much we talk about health, but at the end of the day, we give up in front of the taste. Okay. So this is a very interesting thing, the balancing between the health and taste. And when we say health, preserving the nutrition in the food, you should have enough nutrient as it is in the food. During the cooking, the nutrition should not deplete it. And that's where the gut health comes in. When you have the gut, which is not absorbing properly and not having a proper digestion. So even though you are eating enough, your dietitian is saying, or nutritionist is saying, or daily allowance, you're taking your daily allowance, but daily allowance is not going into your blood. That's what is the gut health, right? So from where it comes, so like I enter into the next part of it. So what is happening? We heard about a stomach acid, right? We all heard about a stomach acid. So we have an acid inside our stomach. Any one of you have experienced acid reflux, like the burning the upper part of the chest and then in the mouth sometime? If any one of you, right? So it's an acid reflux, like the stomach acid is basically pushed back to the mouth, and it's like, but you know, there's and then acidity. We say like, oh, there's too much acidity, so that the center of the stomach is like at the one point become very painful and all that kind of thing, and then we have a bloating. Now this is a very interesting thing. I'm saying other way around. Have you ever heard about that our stomach acid is very weak? Many of us, we have a weak stomach acid. So as soon as we eat the food, the stomach acid cannot do its job properly. So the stomach acid has to be accurate. It's first rule of the gut health. The first rule of the gut health is the stomach acid has to be good. And then only when whatever you are eating, it's doing the grinding. It's a grinder, basically. It grind everything and it create enough emulsion. So when it go into further intestine, then the further role takes place. Okay. Second very important thing, you all heard about probiotic. Yeah, you heard about probiotic. What is probiotic? Please unmute your things and say probiotic.
So you can raise your hand and unmute yourselves.
It restores the flora and the fauna of your gut, like as they say, like the flora. It restores the flora and fauna of your gut. That's what I understand it as.
Okay, so in a layman language, let's put like probiotics are a friendly bacteria. Okay, friendly bacteria, because we need a lot of bacteria inside our gut or intestine, which support our digestive system. So now you have to put this thing linked together. So what is the first important part? We need oil, we need water, we need a strong stomach acid. Now we are coming to the fourth point. We need good bacteria who support in the digestion. You see, the whole theory now change. So first we need inside in our body, we need oil. Second, we need water. Third, we need good stomach acid. And now fourth, we need good bacteria. When we have these four things, now what is the fifth thing which we need in order to have a good digestion? I gave you four things. There's a one very important thing, should be the first one, which I didn't tell deliberately. But what is the most important thing we should have?
Is it sleep?
Yeah, you pardon? No, right now we are talking now gut health. So food is gone inside, right? So I'm saying once it is inside, now we are talking about the digestion and absorption. Okay, so you have all the beautiful nutrition gone into your body. So you have done a good job. You have taken nutrition inside your body. But now your gut has to do the job, that it has to take all the nutrition from your gut, from your food to your blood. So I'm telling four things. So first I tell you the oil. Second, I'm telling you the water. Third, I'm telling the good stomach acid. Now, what is the fourth one? Fourth one is the bacteria, a good bacteria. Now there is a fifth one, which is a very important one, which starts from our mouth. We have a lot in our mouth.
Saliva.
So the name,
Saliva.
change the name. Yeah, you're close.
Chewing the food.
What's that called?
No, it's very okay. Okay, just giving you the hint. What you get in papaya? What you get in papaya?
My daughter says
Why papaya is good for like digestion or gut health?
Yeah, that slimy thing. What is a slimy thing?
Okay, so let me help you. Let me help you, and then you will say, "Oh, we all know this." Okay, so that is enzyme.
Enzymes. Yeah.
Okay, so without good enzyme in the food, doesn't matter how beautiful food, how nutritious food you eat, without enzyme, you just cannot digest your food. It's very simple. It's a middle school or high school lecture, but we miss in our life. So now these are the 5 important things. If you have this 5 important things, you have enough good stuff for your gut health. Okay, can someone repeat this 5 things which I said? I see like whether your memory is like what is. Yes, please go ahead.
Oil, water, strong stomach acid, good bacteria,
Yeah.
enzymes.
Okay. Now I want you to add the 6th one.
Oh.
I'm giving you the secret formula today for rest of your life. Add the sixth one. Think about it. I discussed at the beginning. Now this, I'm creating the whole system, whole machinery, whole army inside your gut, which do the job, whatever you are doing justice by, okay, you are doing a justice by eating good food, but let your gut do the justice to your physical habit of taking good food. So what is the 6th one? Okay, so let me, because we have a time restriction, so let me help. Yeah. So I help you here. Fiber.
I was about to say that.
Okay, good. Why? Because once the body absorb all the nutrient, then the gut need to clean up.
Yeah.
So fiber will help your gut to clean up. So you should have like your feces should be a very good quality. Okay. Now this is very strange. Like we call science of poo. We never pay attention to it, but it's very important because no one ever bother about it. And I just wanted to tell you this. There's a big research happening in the Chinese University of Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and my University of Hong Kong, on the science of poo. Proper research department, right? Because that feces can tell a lot about your gut health. Okay. So when the feces, after the digestion, fiber push it to the last part of our body, the digestive canal is called rectum. Yes, you heard about rectum. And the role of the rectum is to absorb all the water from it. Okay. And that's where make the feces hard and things. Okay. So whenever we say like we have diarrhea, what is the meaning of diarrhea? That the part of the colon, rectum, is not able to take the water out from the feces. Okay. And that's why it is in the liquid, semi-liquid format. Okay. Diarrhea and all those kind of, the feces always has to be the hard. If it is the hard, you get an indication that your rectum is working very well. So that's what, starting from your mouth, the moment you take it, as you say, saliva, it's enzyme. Our first enzyme is in our saliva. Okay. And from there, the digestion start all the way. And the last part of the thing is the major role after everything is to take the water out from the feces. So that's like the whole army sitting inside you, the gut health. Now, okay, so that's clear, right? So just remember this magic formula of 6 people. If you have this 6 people inside your gut is healthy. Now, switching to the other part. Okay, I'm taking it step by step. If I take a little bit more time, it is okay, 10-15 minutes, if you're free. Yeah. Because we started a little bit late around. Yeah, Veena, is it okay?
Yep. I think
okay.
Should be fine up till
okay.
10.
All right. Yeah. So after having this, now think about what are the enemies. So these are your friends. So now connect these 2 dots. you are mindful person, you are careful every day what you are putting in your mouth. But once you put in your mouth, then your internal system has to be smart enough to justify that what you put in your mouth, they have to justify internally. And the 6 things will justify your physical action. Okay. So first part, what you choose, what you eat is your behavior and is your physical action. Whatever happening inside your gut, it's a biological action. Okay. It happened by itself. It's a biological action. So these are your support system. But at the same time, now so many people have a problem. The question comes from where this problem is coming. So definitely, we are disturbing 6 of them inside in our body. Okay. So one of the thing let's start. Can you see something is maybe like, in your opinion, can be one of the main culprit of not having a good digestion? Let's see like how close you can come. On a daily basis, something we should not do, we should avoid. We are talking about the gut health. Okay, so we are not talking about the heart health or other health, only the digestive thing. So anything related to digestive, like put a logic, what is the very bad? Any idea? Just guess. Yeah.
Oily food, spicy food,
Sugar.
Okay. Okay. Here you go. The third one. Okay. So come. So we are not talking about oil. We are not talking about other things, because we know we have to take care of it. We know about the good oil. We know about the bad oil. We know like how to cook, like high heat, low heat, and then there's so many ways. Okay. So oil itself is a full topic. Sometime we'll do a full topic on oil. But here is the main thing is sugar. Okay. Many people don't understand, but keep taking sugar. Sugar means you're not physically taking 1 spoon of the sugar and mixing in your tea, or taking 2 spoons and mixing in your coffee. It is the indirect sugar, which is everywhere, right? You drink, like any one of you, like who has a habit of drinking cold drinks, who have a habit of buying the juices from the market, like ready-made, pre-packed juice, not fresh juice, right? Like that, there are so many food out there which has like a lot of sugar inside it. And sugar is one of the very bad stuff for the body. And that is why the Hong Kong government made a compulsory law that the sugar volume must be mentioned on the nutritional label. So next time when you go to buy any product from the supermarket, please pick up the product, read the sugar, and then only you buy it. If the sugar content is very high, please try to find a replacement of it. Okay. So for your Google search, maybe I give you the things, you try to look the good sugar or low GI index food. Okay. Low GI index food. Low GI index means it's called glycemic index. It means it has a less sugar. So though it is sweet in nature, but it is less in sugar. But don't eat too much sugar. Why? Because if you eat too much sugar, our intestine is like a tube, right? It's a tube. And then this particular part of the tube is not always clean. Okay. So what happened, the layer, the greasy, like, see, this is the disadvantage of eating more oil. So like I'm coming now to the part of disadvantage. If you eat a lot of oil, then the oil started getting a layer over here, greasy layer. Okay. Now, so you have a clean intestine, but now when you have a lot of oily food, there's a very small greasy layer on top of your intestine. This oily layer, like your kitchen, right? If you cook like too much oily food, you touch the wall of your kitchen, it's like very sticky. Same thing happens. Why we say smoking is injurious to the lung? Because when some people smoke, the tar of the cigarette is create a kind of a layer around this the respiratory, like we call it trachea. Okay, and then the enough oxygen cannot go, and lung cannot take enough oxygen. When lung doesn't get enough oxygen, the health get deteriorated like that. So this concept, remember, it's called biofilm. There's a one technical thing called biofilm. So all of you, all of us, we have a biofilm inside our gut. But this biofilm is supported by good bacteria to avoid the bad stuff. Now, biofilm is like a garbage ground, and it loves to attract all the bad stuff. Okay. So that is the reason, like, you should eat less oil, only that much which can only absorb. But if you have an oily food, it will cover up the layer. So sugar will allow to grow certain kind of fungus. Okay. Candida. You heard about the candida. Candida is a very bad fungus. So many people, many of us, our intestine, our gut is growing candida, a lot of fungus. And these fungus are there. So now whenever we are eating something, we immediately get bloating, we get gas, we get like indigestion, we are having so many things. So if you are having so many things, it means like we have some kind of candida is one of the example. In other words, we say we have a lot of parasites. Parasites means like a lot of worms, you know, like in the children who eat a lot of like sweet candies, they have a lot of like the worms inside their intestine, right? So it's very easy for worms to grow inside intestine. So we have a lot of fungus, a lot of bad bacteria, and a lot of worms. Now these guys, why they are bad? Because they also need a food. So you are eating good food, and when the digestion is taking, instead of a blood, before it's going to blood, these guys are taking it up. So you are not getting anything, or you are getting very little. So basically a kind of enemies are living inside with you, you don't know. Okay. So you think you are eating, but these are the guys who are stealing your nutrient from you. Okay. So that's where it is. The sugar sounds good, but it's really not good stuff because it helps to create. So oil and sugar are really should be avoided much from the food that's there.
Doctor?
Yes, please.
How about honey?
See, usually what happened, like, okay, we are talking about two things. We are talking about now good sugar and bad sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. Good sugar and bad sugar is related to our health. Right now, okay, for a moment, just you need to imagine, right? So you need to imagine like we put our whole digestive system. So it's like a whole tube, starting from our mouth and opening in our anus. And it's like a tube, like we can pass through it, right? So when you look inside that tube, there's so many stuff is growing inside it. It's just like a water pipe, right? If you don't clean up a water pipe or something for years and years, many things are growing inside. That's what exactly happened with us in our intestine. It doesn't happen in our stomach because they have an acid, it kills it. but only it has the intestine and the colon, and that's why we have a colon cancer and so many other stuff and all this kind of like wrong stuff what we are happening, because it is not cleaned. Okay, and that is why these days you heard a lot of word called detox. Okay, okay, colon cleansing, lot of things came up. Okay, so there is a flushing out, like, so they like, you go into detox, you stay like a 10 days program, 7 days program. Why? Because they want to clean your intestine, whole thing. So I will not use the word gut, I will use the word like intestine, which include the small intestine and the large intestine. Okay, and especially like the near part of the anus, which is like uh, last part of the colon, is very important because this play very significant role. So this cleaning is very, very important, and this in the market now available in a form of the detox process or as a colon cleansing process. But in Indian food or in any other food, that is why sometimes we say like, okay, in India we use the khichdi, right? Here we have like this congee. So when people fall sick, why we give congee? India people fall sick, we give like khichdi. So the whole idea is, when you want to clean your the intestine, you have to eat a no oil, no salt, and like a blend food. So and then you have to have a lot of like a hot water flush, and that's where the Chinese tea habit comes in. That's very interesting. Chinese tea habit. They keep drinking warm tea all the time. So if you take a lot of like the warm liquid inside, it don't allow a grease or greasy stuff to build up in your intestine. Okay. So that's what you have to see, like, means it's not like a green tea is good or this is good or that is good. Any kind of tea, so far it is warm, lukewarm, and you have a habit of taking it regularly, it can really soften everything, and then it makes your things like very clean. So nothing is depositing over there. Okay, so that's how it is. Now, so like that, there are so many stuff, but I try to give you the main message today. What is the main message? The message here is we need the 6 items inside the body, because when you take a good nutrition, the good nutrition has to go inside the body. But then there is so many other stuff. So I just pick up the sugar today and try to explain how the biofilm built up. But there are so many kind of food intolerance, food allergy, many other stuffs which basically affect our digestive process. But now I said like, okay, digestive health or gut health with the hair. So suddenly you have a question, what is to do with the hair? So in my yesterday seminar, as I mentioned, when your organ is under a load, okay, so imagine that we have a bad bacteria inside our gut, we have a parasite living inside our gut, we have a worm, like worms living inside. So the digestion work is done by our body, but it is taken away by the other living organisms inside our body. So our organ is not getting it. And unless, 2 things, if our organ do not get oxygen and do not get enough nutrient, it cannot function. Okay, so the moment you don't get oxygen, you don't get a nutrient, your organ get tired. So every organ, when you say, oh, I have like today a backache, it's not necessary that is a muscle problem. It must be your lung is not working properly. It must be your spleen didn't work properly. It must be your liver didn't work properly. Some organ must have a load, which is manifested in terms of a pain in your body, because it's not a permanent pain. You can fix it next day, right? So remember that all the pains are not a muscle pain. All the pains is not a disease. Is a pain is a lot of imbalances. Okay, like this. Now, when you have this kind of pain, it is an indication of load on the organ. And as I mentioned yesterday, when you have a load, three things happen in the body. Your immune system go down, your hormone disbalance happen, and your metabolism actually start changing. What is the metabolism? Like you heard about the metabolic rate. The metabolic rate means you eat, this is the thing, you eat everything and it goes in your inside your body. But if you eat, if it's not going in your body, means there is a problem in the metabolic rate. So there's three things, right? So remember, when the organ has a load, your immune system go down, your hormones imbalance, and there is a metabolic disorder. The moment you have this three combination together, the first thing you see is the pain or the hair fall. This is a very interesting thing. If you are having a hair fall, it's a very, if it is not genetic or if it is not pattern, then it's a very clear-cut indication that something is going wrong in some of the organ. Okay, why? Because it has disbalanced your three things. Your immune go wrong, your hormonal go wrong, your metabolism go wrong. And the result, the first target is the hair. Okay, so that is the thing. So when you have a hair problem, it's not necessary that it is related to hair or very much related to the hair. So today I try to relate, like, if the hair, because hair fall has so many reasons, but if it is related to gut, this is the relationship with the gut. Okay, so I hope like you understand what I explained to you today very nicely, and it's in the simple way. And if you try to remember some basic points over here, you will understand like how to take care of your gut. It's automatically going to give you a kind of a hint, like why people have a bloating, they cannot like solve their bloating, why people have like gases, they cannot solve the gases, why people have indigestion, is all because they are not having the 6 item, the secret which I share with you, fully balanced inside their gut. So let's repeat this 6 again. Who want to repeat this 6? I want to make sure like you remember this. Yes, please go ahead.
Enzyme, fiber, water, oil, stomach acids, and probiotics.
Okay, great. So keep remember this, right? And then like every day if you focus. Now the second very important thing, what I said, like when you go and buy your grocery from the supermarket, what you should read?
Sugar.
Trans fat index.
Yes, yes. So trans fat and
sugar.
Okay. Now I add one more thing which I do in my every seminar. Like in order to make a guarantee for food safety that your product is safe, you have to look into HACCP or ISO 22000. Please, please, please never buy any product which do not have ISO 22000 written on the label. Okay, because it is a mandatory from the regulatory point of view. All the good companies, it's a commitment, it's a responsibility for the good company to audit their product for the food safety. It's a food safety auditing. It's called ISO 22000. So if the product is not ISO 22000 certified, please avoid to buy it. Doesn't matter how beautiful packaging it is, how beautiful it smells, how beautiful it looks. It's not good. Okay, why? The manufacturer is not doing the responsible job, because by law, it is mandatory for him to do the ISO 22000 check. Okay, so here I end, Veena. So if someone have like some question, please go ahead.
Okay,
So I ask one thing is like if the sugar is not good, but what about honey? Honey also not good or what?
No. See, you're mixing two things. Who is asking this question?
Renee.
Okay.
Renee.
So it's actually like what happened, like honey and sugar, when we talk about our health, okay, I'm talking about the gut health. Okay. So gut health means anything sweet, bacteria will grow.
So
We are
honey
talking
too.
about bacteria. Yeah, doesn't matter is honey or whatever like that, right?
Oh.
Bacteria will grow. That is why I'm saying we don't have to put the logic. Science work in a different way. Okay, so let's put in this way. If you put honey on a table and you put a sugar on the sugar means like you dilute the sugar or anything sugary, and you put the ants. So ants will not go to the honey. They will go everywhere wherever they find sweet. Right? So that's where there are a lot of like bugs, let's put germs inside our. Like these days we are living in the corona pandemic. This is a germ, which is called virus. It's everywhere. So when this virus get favorable condition, it will grow. So word is sugar. So sugar will not stop when it come to support the parasite or any germs. But when it come to whether it affect our health, which is altogether a different topic. Okay, because sugar change our like a cellular metabolism or something like that. It's a different science altogether. Then honey is good. It's called good sugar. Like we talk about the good health, good fat or bad fat. Okay. So now I mentioned, I took a fat as an example to explain that trans fat is bad for the body. Okay. Not for the gut health. For gut health is good because we need a fat, but it is bad for the heart.
Oh.
Because we have a trans fat, so we have a heart problem. Okay, so it's just like a chess game. It's very complicated. Like you try to fix sometime. Like one and another very good example that okay, if you have a bone problem and you have a heart problem, can you mute? Like okay, if you have a bone problem and you have a heart problem. So in one problem, the solution is calcium. But on the other problem, the calcium is so dangerous. So if you have a heart problem, you need to avoid calcium because calcium will harden your arteries. So it cannot be flexible. Less calcium, the artery can flexible, so the blood can flow. But then you have a bone problem, you need to put a calcium. So biological science is not that simple the way we talk. So the purpose of today's talk is just to give you this kind of concept that we have to focus organ by organ, we have to focus system by system, and when you have this whole series together, then you can understand like what we required for our body. And then you can see like, wow, your health is good, your brain is working properly, because it's all about your mind. It's mind game. We always say mind game, right? How energetic you are, how positive you are, how active you are. So it's all about like the mind, and it's all about like your digestion, right? So that's a digestion is taking the nutrition in. So gut is the tool. Gut is the tool by which the nutrient you are eating is going inside your blood. Right?
So there's a question by somebody saying, I'm losing hair in a huge quantity. My metabolism is fine. How do I check on the imbalance of the hormone?
Okay, so the question is like when we say like fine. Okay, so when you say it is fine or it is not fine, you need to ask the question, how do you know it is fine or it is not fine? Okay, so usually what happen like for the hormones is or the metabolic, everything, we have a simple blood test. So blood test is the one way. But there's another interesting thing we call the rapid assessment. The rapid assessment means you can do at home. Like we usually support this kind of things by asking a questionnaire. Okay, so you fill the questionnaire, we communicate with you, we ask few questions, and we fill the things, and based on that we can identify okay what kind of like a problem you have, and then we relate. So it's a kind of like a more like we call conversational diagnostic. Okay, or in other way, like a non-medical diagnostic, because it's not necessary that you have to go to the hospital and you have to do the blood test or you have to do everything to find out every like thing. Lot of your day-to-day body function, if you can communicate, we can tell you what's there. Is very easy. Yeah, so it's a questionnaire based. Yeah.
Okay, so it's already 10:35. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, that we're going to be having a fun activity. So those who are on the screen, their videos are on, can take part. So I have actually put down a poll, which I'm going to launch right now. And the quickest one to answer will win a detox with us. Okay, so I'm going to launch it right now. So those on their video with their videos on, please answer. The quickest one to answer will win this. Go ahead.
What is macronutrient for eyes?
Lutein.
So if who knows the first answer, the quickest one to answer, you can turn on your.
Not. You can't click it. It says host.
You can't click it.
Okay. The first one who answers me quick.
Lutein. Lutein. Lutein.
Who said that? Who said that?
Wendy.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Said that first. Okay. So next one. What is GABA? Who tells me first?
Amino acid. Amino acid.
Okay. That is Tamanna. Okay. We have one last one over there. So who's going to answer?
Water enzymes.
Name the friendly army for the gut.
Huh? What?
Enzymes.
Good bacteria.
So, okay, who's going to raise their hands and answer this?
What?
Bacteria.
Not the same. Okay, who else wants to answer?
What's the question?
Sorry, I didn't
is the
get the
question?
question.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Yeah, what's the question?
Names of the friendly army for the gut.
Me, I can answer.
Okay.
Water.
Fiber, water, oil.
Sangeeta will answer it.
Oil, water, strong stomach acid, good bacteria, enzymes, fiber.
Yes, very good. So, all three of you, so Tamanna, Sangeeta, and Wendy, right? Wendy, you answered the first one?
Yes.
Please come to Naveda. You know where we are located. We are in Choi, Hank House Center.
Yeah.
So room C6. Please come and claim your free or prize. All right. We look
Okay.
forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
I hope you had a wonderful session today.
Yeah.
If you personally have any hair concerns, please call us. We are hair specialists. We can help you with your hair issues internally and externally.
Okay.
We look at it in a integral manner. Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just asking, my daughter wants to know because she's been having a stomach issue for a very long time. Kombucha, you've heard of the kombucha thing?
Oh, yeah.
She wants to know whether she can take kombucha for it.
Dr. Sanjay?
See, again, there are so many things, so we don't work in this way. The thing is that, like, a stomach problem, like, so it's a very subjective statement, right? So as we say, like, we can identify based on when you have a specific problem. So a specific problem in the sense, like, whether it is an indigestion, whether it is like a kind of acid reflux, whether it is a bloating, whether it is a gas, diarrhea, what are the things, like, so then it is, the solution is based on that. That is why we can identify. So what is the out of this, which one is the stomach problem? What kind of a stomach problem?
Priti.
Like I have constipation, and usually anytime after I eat food, like, or even before I eat food, my stomach just hurts.
Okay. So that's what we didn't touch today. Like there's a lot of like topic is some other day we'll talk about the food intolerance. Okay, and there's a lot of like other leaking gut and like a lot of that some topics there. So if there is a constant constipation, like obviously like the first thing is definitely the lack of fiber, obviously like less water intake. These are the things like, but in this kind of I think like the prune, you heard about prunes.
Yeah.
Prunes, you try prunes. Prunes can be like one of the best stuff over here, and you get enough in the Chinese local market. The prunes, like this traditional Chinese shop who sell the this kind of thing. So prune is one of the best solution all around across the world. It's easy and it doesn't have like very strong glycemic index. Can try.
I heard
Hmm.
kombucha is good for gut health. That's why I was wondering.
See, that's what it is. Like we are a scientist. We don't do marketing. So marketing thing like we talk science. Okay. So the thing is that it whatever proved in science, what we have heard like science, what is the meaning of that? Like it is properly tested in the laboratory, and it is well recognized within the scientific community as a solution, or it is well recognized from us to the medical community. Then only we recommend. Whatever like company saying and the product saying I'm this, I'm that, like that we never endorse and things, because it's not a scientific validation. So you can hear so many things because the social media is there, the marketing is there, so many product is good, so many people will give that their endorsement. But today, as I see, like try to fix that 6 item in your body. That is why today I said like 6 items. So sometime like again, the message today is not what to take to fix something. The message is if you fix that 6 item in your inside your gut will automatically respond to it. Okay. So, but because you have a constipation, to release the constipation, prune is, or our like the isab glow, like it's so common, like means. So what is very common, go with the common things, which is scientifically recognized, rather than like some new things you hear or someone randomly talking about it. Yeah.
Sorry, maybe I missed it. What kind of oil is the best? Is it coconut oil or flaxseed oil?
Who is this?
Sorry, Renee.
When I said this coconut oil, or like related to what?
I mean, you say oil. What kind of oil is the best for gut health?
No. Oil is oil. Again, science. Oil is oil. Okay. So that is why it is like oil is oil. Salt is salt. Okay. Protein is protein. Okay. So there is like this. That's how the human mind has changed. So this, what you have like heard, like this oil is good, this oil is not good. This is all marketing.
Okay.
Okay.
And stomach
in science,
acid.
yeah. Pardon?
The stomach acid. What kind of thing can increase the stomach acid?
Yeah. So what happened? Like what I said, most of the people have a strong stomach acid, which sometimes they can feel as a reflection or acidity and the burning sensation and all those kind of things. But then some other people have a weak stomach acid. Okay. Weak stomach acid. Weak stomach acid in the sense like you just don't feel it. They are not strong enough to grind your food properly. Okay. So usually what happened, like there is like not a oil, but most of the people use a fermented food. Fermented food. Yeah. So fermented food is one of the way to increase your stomach acid. And second, what happened, like you try to put like a some kind of like enzymes. So yeah, I would say like certain kind of like enzymes. What is a food habit on a routine basis?
It's 10:45. I think maybe she can give us a call if she'd like to open a consultation or something, because I think a lot of people want to leave now.
Sure. Okay.
So fermented food is like a pickles, right?
Yeah,
Pickles.
Yeah, pickles.
So today we're going to be ending the session. It's 10:45. So if you have any personal consultation, if you want to ask any further questions, you can book a consultation with us. Thank you so much, everybody, for
Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
interacting with us.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy. We will keep you updated of our upcoming webinars. All right?
Okay. Thanks, Lina. Thanks, doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Learned a lot.